So you are very well aware of what the topic of the day is. I will be looking forward to your comments, your chats in the chat section on the side. So keep them coming. I'm going to dive straight into the topic. So drop in your hellos, your introduction, because today we are going to talk about introduction. If your introduction does not get people excited, if you don't hear questions from others wanting to know you better, you can be sure that your introduction is falling flat. It is boring. Tell me how many of you think that your introduction is phenomenal and people get super impressed when they talk to you in the first go and you're confident about what you speak about yourself. If you have given this a thought, comment below. I'm going to read a couple of comments and get back to the topic. So think about it. I want your brain to start working right now. Thank you, M&M, for calling me gorgeous. You absolutely love my channel. That is Sarah. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, ma'am. I'm new to life. I'm new to life too. So I'm going to get better at doing this. I am pretty new. This is my second live. Hello. Drop in an emoji. That's a good way to get my attention. So I know you're writing something interesting. All right. So you set the tone of a meeting and how others treat you by the way you treat yourself. I think I've talked about this multiple times in different videos, but the way you talk about yourself, it leaves an impression about who you think you are and who people assume you are. So, have you given this a thought? Have you thought about how you treat yourself? I want you to think about this, right? Has it ever happened to you that you introduce yourself to people, but people don't remember your name, or they uh, kind of carry on a conversation completely ignoring what you said or your name, or you yourself feel like there's nothing special about me, so what is really even there to introduce about myself? And this is the most monotonous thing, the most boring thing. So a lot of people think it's just my name. What am I supposed to say beyond this? And that's where you take this whole part of introducing yourself for granted. If you have been this person, there is a raise your hand emoji. Click on that. I want to see. I also want you to remember everything I'm asking you. I want your mind to start clicking. I want you to keep notes, make notes of what I'm saying. I want you to start thinking about why did I not do this? Or if you've done it, write it below. I want to hear from you. And remember, it is conversations between you and me. These Q&As, these mind opening sessions, even for me, are very helpful for me to make more content for you guys. So it's very important that we keep this interactive. I'm looking forward to your comments. How do you get hunter eyes? Is this a topic I should be thinking about? Okay, somebody's from Iran. 11 p.m. in India. Thank you for staying up. Love this topic. I'm an introvert. I'm in my 30s and still struggling to introduce myself. I tried working on a script but failed at it miserably. Why did you fail, Jinsi? Am I getting your name right? Let me know. I don't want to mispronounce it. No, you're not the only one. There are a lot of people who, frankly, don't even work on their introduction. I'm glad you at least started with the first step of working on a script. I will tell you a few mistakes that most people make as we go along today, and hopefully, this will help you refine your introduction. I think one of the biggest mistakes is you think that you need a written script because what you say is going to impact your impression, whereas it is not what you say, it is how you say it matters more than just words. That is why, as an image coach, I help people understand that it's not just your academic grades in your college or the course you did. It is never that impresses people. That is not the reason why a girl wants to go on a date with you, or a man wants to date you, or somebody wants to hire you. It is you. You are a brand. You represent yourself. And if you don't speak out loud and clear through your body language, through your clothing, through the way you walk in, through your eye contact, through how you portray your feelings, your emotions, wrap it in a package. It should look like a beautiful gift. Present yourself as a brand. And that's how I like to define how personal brand really works. People should speak about you the way you want them to, even in your absence. And how does that happen? It doesn't just happen by getting good grades in your college or few other aspects that you might have worked on. So there are a lot of things about you, and introduction is just one of them. Just to go more over all those topics, I am doing a masterclass. I hope you all know about it. I've talked about it on my Instagram, on my YouTube, and everywhere. It is called personalbrandingstyle.com. Let me see if I can link it here in the chat. And www.personalbrandingstyle.com. I think that's what it is, personalbrandingstyle.com. Yes. So check it out for the next couple of days. It's happening next Saturday. So just for the next couple of days, I still have Gift Yourself 50. This is going to be the promo code to get you 50% off on this masterclass. It's going to be a pretty long, 4 hours intense masterclass. Your mind is going to be blown away about the topics that I'm going to talk on. I'm going to talk about of course, your body language. I'm going to be talking about your personal style, about your body style. How many people don't understand their bodies and present it the way it should be, and your social media image. In today's day and age, you cannot escape it. You cannot leave it to your friends who are posting pictures about you decide who you are or define who you are. You have to take control and be very clear. In today's day and age, I think that is your business card. I've talked about it in the past as well. So make sure everything that represents you in your presence or even in your absence speaks exactly what it should. You should decide what that should say. Okay, so I'm a huge fan of yours. Thank you so much. For confidence, how to build it. Of course, I'm going to be talking a lot more about how to build confidence. Let me know, any of you who are making that purchase right now on the masterclass, please comment and tell me you've joined me. All right, I'm going to get back to the introduction topic. So if you have been thinking, please keep a paper and pen handy so you can keep making your notes. Okay, have you ever felt like there's nothing special about you, or when you introduce yourself, you start believing that there's really nothing that others want to know about you? It means that in your mind, you're thinking you're not important enough. And that's why you take a back step in introducing yourself. If this has happened, this was my last question to you. If you've thought about it, keep writing below. For all those new people who are joining in, that's where we are right now. If it is you and you have been introduced to people, and you just leave it at hello or just hi, leave that in the comment as well, because a lot of people, when you are introduced to someone and you just say hi without adding anything to it, you are saying something completely different from even if you had just mentioned your name. It is so easy for people to assume. Now, if you are that person, you may assume that people don't want to know more about you or you're shy. But on the other hand, the people who are on the receiving end, they may assume something completely different from what you just did. So when you just say hi, they think you're very standoffish or you don't care about introducing yourself better. So you are giving a completely different impression. So control that and make sure you have something ready about yourself. I am a very, very strong believer that it is not just what you say, but also how you say it that matters. So let me know if you have thought about this. And if you think your introduction, if you've even worked on it, like someone mentioned that they have worked on it, but they've never been impressed with what they have written. So far, I haven't even come to the stage where I introduce my name. I'm still on just hello. And this is where I'll notice a lot of people make mistakes. Let me know. I know a lot of you have done this. I meet like literally every fifth person, maybe. They just shake hands, say hi, and that's it. So, okay. So here comes my actual first tip. Who is ready? Okay. I hope all of you are ready. Now, a lot of people have joined in. So join me as I will talk about how you can create a more impactful introduction, to make an impactful introduction. So first one is, I want you to stop sounding like everyone else. One of the first things, right? Everyone thinks that this is how everyone introduces themselves. So I need to introduce myself just like how it is normally done. Stop doing that, firstly. You are unique, and you need to believe that others are going to experience something incredible when they get to know you. You have to believe that about yourself, even if it is something very small, whatever you might be doing. And I'll give you an example. For example, one of my clients, uh, when I was speaking to her initially, she used to say something like, "Hi, I'm Jessica. I own a candle business," right? I own a candle business. Pretty easy for someone to forget about it. Or the fact that she did not emphasize on what she does, the fact that she did not take pride in what she said, her body language just said something like, I just have a candle business, nothing unique about it. Versus something completely different, where she then started introducing herself as, "Hi, I'm Jessica. I support 25 domestic violence victims by employing them in my handmade candle business." Something like that. Now, take a moment to comment on this and tell me how you would change something about your introduction. You saw a big difference in someone taking pride in what they do and putting it in a way where it compels other people to ask you more questions, or it immediately awakens people and they're like, "Oh, wow, she employs 25 women. These are domestic violence victims. Where are they? What kind of business? Oh, handmade candles. I'm interested in it. These are not just some machine made candles." So just that one sentence spoke so much about Jessica. Invariably, she said, people turned around, they stopped any conversation and wanted to know more about what I do. And that's what I mean by creating an impactful introduction. This was not a 30-second introduction. You're not on a beauty pageant stage where you have to keep talking about your hobbies and your achievements. Wrap your achievements in a quick sentence where it makes other people inquisitive about you. I am waiting for some comments. I really want to understand who you are and give me that one liner introduction. Keep thinking about it. Just because I'm asking you this question doesn't mean you need to give me a quick answer. That's another thing. Don't rush through things. Think, take your time, and then comment. And I'm going to check out a couple of comments while you guys are also thinking and commenting and sharing your views with me on this. So keep going. Hi, I did call your name, right? Hi, Jinsey. Yes. By the way, there are like these super chats and stuff like that. I think you can see below. So you can show your support for Blush with me, Parmita, I think by clicking that. So go ahead and do it. I have no idea how to do this. I've never done this before, but you can do it. I think it brings your comments up and I can address those. Remember, this is also a Q&A. So please keep throwing your questions. And if you have emojis, it just catches my attention better. Okay, somebody from Sudan, somebody, how to become beautiful like me. I think the right word, first of all, thank you very much for that. The right word would be, I would say, develop a personality. It is not just about beautiful in features. I don't think I ever grew up believing that I was one, because I had all the people in my family who were very beautiful people, like pretty people. I just grew up believing that my personality is going to dominate a room when I walk in. And that's the belief I've always had. I just learned to emphasize on my strengths, and I very smartly try to cover up my limitations. So it's completely up to you on what you want others to notice, right? So tell me, and this would apply when I say personal branding. Think about this. This applies to everything. Think of Nike. When you see Nike as a brand, they don't advertise their flaws. They don't say, oh, this shoe might be uncomfortable. This shoe might only last you 2 months. It might give you heel pain. They advertise or they create a brand around lifestyle, how it's going to make you look, make you feel, and how it's going to improve your life, right? So that's what you need to learn. Nobody taught me personal branding from my childhood. I just knew that if somebody has to be associated with me, let them figure out what my strengths and flaws are from their point of view. So if somebody likes me, I know they would like me for who I am ultimately, but how I present myself is very important. And I'm very well aware of the second thing, that whoever I am, I would never have 100% people liking me and saying things like you're saying, because it could be the most beautiful person on the earth. You would still have a 50-50% opinion about them. Somebody would say, oh, I love her or love him and he's beautiful. And the rest would say, I don't find that person attractive, I find that person annoying, or whatever, right? So be very aware that if you start judging yourself, you're doomed. Make sure you understand yourself instead of judging, and highlight your strengths, and highlight those strengths, since we are talking about introduction, in your introduction. Make sense? If it makes sense, show me an emoji. What emoji? A hug emoji. Give me a hug emoji. Namaste, Radhika. Radhika. I like the namaste. Can a symmetric face be fixed through massages? We will talk about it. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do some face yoga live events too. But in short, yes, a lot. A lot can be changed about your face through face yoga. Alrighty, let's move on to the next point. So, how many of you thought about your introduction when I talked about the candle maker Jessica versus the candle maker Jessica, who employs 25 women and makes handmade candles? So, think about your introduction. Somebody says, I shake hands with someone and they don't make eye contact, I immediately don't trust them. That is correct. If you don't make eye contact, people do not trust you. And that's one of the biggest signs of leadership. So make sure I will be talking about this. This is one of the points that I am going to be talking about. Alrighty. I'm still reading a couple of comments. All right. So let's move on to the second point, which is, how do you add power to your presence? Any thoughts about it? To your presence. Again, the words are not yet spoken. To your presence. And I would say it is through the volume of your body and your voice. How do you add volume to your body? Voice comes later. So when you walk in, people notice you. The more you shrink your body, the more you think you don't deserve to be there or you don't trust yourself. How is anyone else going to trust you? So make sure your body is open, you take more space, and then comes, of course, your volume. Especially women. I've seen a lot of women, they do not speak loudly enough. I'm not saying scream, but be loud enough so other person can hear you. Because remember, your audience is different at different times. Sometimes you're meeting someone one-on-one. Sometimes you're in a group. Sometimes you're in a group where there's music going on. So it is important that you understand your audience and adjust your volume accordingly. Lot of women speak very softly. They want to come across feminine, and there's nothing wrong in being feminine, but this can affect your impression and your professionalism too. So when you're at work, you need to come across authoritative, and anyone who is very timid in their voice immediately gives away that authority and your voice are two completely separate universes. So you need to have a little bit more volume when you're speaking. This is a good time for me to check out a couple of chat messages. Keep them coming. Thank you for your absolutely phenomenal and uplifting personality. Thank you so much. Our pillar of light. I love it. Thank you. Although I love reading these messages, I am still going to focus on some of your concerns that you guys are writing here. It is my pleasure to meet you too, all of you who are commenting, writing. So someone just mentioned here, Sarah Rizzi. I don't brag, but I introduce myself and I ask the person I'm talking with. What do you mean by I introduce myself and ask? Okay, ask about the person you're talking to. This is a very tricky one. I want to do a completely different session on this about when you are talking to someone or introducing yourself to someone, how to direct the conversation in a direction you want to take it in instead of just following a conversation. And of course, you should be a good listener. That is a great skill of anyone. But when you're introducing yourself, you need to talk about yourself. This is your moment, and this is not the moment where you're listening. But speak in a way where the other person has no other option but ask you more questions about yourself, so that you don't introduce yourself in that one sentence, but make the other person feel like they are the ones asking you more about you. So that's a trick that I have mastered, and I would love to talk more about that. And that's why I say that the masterclass that's coming up is a great place for you to be. Imagine this is going to be like maybe another 10-15 minutes of this chat, but that class is where I actually talk a lot more about these topics in depth. I know a lot of people make a decision when it comes to their school and colleges and investing in those things, but when it comes to your personal development and learning the real skills that will take you forward in life, I don't know why a lot of women especially do not make that choice without depending on someone else, without saying, hey, I'll ask my husband and get back to you, I will see my schedule. Put this on your schedule, make this a priority, make sure you give yourself, can you not make 4 hours for yourself? Is this not important enough for you? And for those who have already joined and excited to join, I am so thrilled, because those are the women who are writing to me that I'm serious about this, I'm ready to make this change in my life, and I want to know what I can do. I have done all of this by trial and error, trying to figure out what my style will be, how my body language can improve, or what kind of makeup. And I've seen this across many different topics. Like, people go and buy a lot of makeup, but they don't learn what is the right makeup for their face. People go and buy randomly clothes because your friend said, hey, this will look nice. Your friend is not an expert, but you still trust that person and go ahead and buy a $200 dress. But when it comes to investing in yourself and learning, maybe even with a personal stylist who can teach you exactly how to dress better, what is your even purpose for dressing the way you're dressing right now? A lot of people buy it, and then you're like, oh, I love that outfit on mannequin, but I don't know where to wear it. I don't have an occasion where I can wear pants like those or a dress like that. Or I go to an event maybe once a year. Why did I even buy a $500 cocktail dress? So these are the decisions you make very quickly, right? But when it comes to actually learning what you should be spending on that will impact your life is something that you don't consider. And times are changing. People like you who are here right now are here because you do want to invest in yourself. So I am very thankful. Thank you very much for all of you who are here today. And somebody asked me if I'm talking about females only. I'm not just talking about females, but I am a self-image coach that helps women mostly. And my content is to help women find a better place for themselves in the world. So, who was that person here? I don't know who asked me that question. Vakas, if that's how you pronounce your name, Vakas. Thank you for the question. But these tips work for everyone. Do you think what I'm just mentioned about how you should be introducing yourself doesn't work for you? It works for everyone. It works for men, it works for women. And this is something you should inculcate from a very early age. So it could be an interview, it could be a date that you're going on. How you direct the conversation, how you introduce yourself matters for both men and women. But yes, you will see me bringing a lot of attention to especially how women could be helped with these tips. So you're bang on with that. Why cry, Wakas? Don't put that, is that called crying emoji? You should actually invite some of the women you know onto this group so that they can benefit from it too. And I'm sure if you understand what I'm saying, you'll be able to use it in your life as well. Alrighty, I think with this, I am ready. Wait, 1 second. How to do voice modulation and when you want to impact someone? Very good question. And that is yet again a good topic that we could have either in one of my YouTube videos or uh, even in a live session or in a master class. So keep checking out all my classes and upcoming sessions that I host and workshops. It'll be very helpful. I have myself personally used this skill to change my voice. And I change my voice as per the audience. When I'm talking to a larger audience where there are 80 or 100 people in a group, if I'm on a stage, if there's a bigger audience, my voice is different. If I'm speaking to people one on one, it's different. If I'm on a video, it's very different. So, yes, you do need to modulate your voice, and it is a possibility. All right. Someone said they love the tip about that's Connie about personal branding. Thank you, Connie Rapu. Please forgive me if I don't pronounce your names right. All right. So if you guys are with me, send me a hands up emoji or a high five emoji if you're with me and you understand all the things I've been talking about. And the next tip, again, a very important one, is when people are introduced, you are either very fast or you're too eager. You could be damaging your first impression if this is you. And I'll give you a quick example. Hi, I'm Parmita. I'm so excited to meet you. Control your excitement. Now, this can pay off big time. Instead of being eager to speak as soon as you're introduced to someone or as soon as you meet someone and you introduce yourself, I want you to create some suspense. Firstly, don't be in a rush. Nobody's running away. You have all the time. Take some time, let your eyes connect first. So once you have their eyes connected with yours, let your eyes first start doing the talking before your words. Before your words, remember very, very clearly. So when you're meeting someone, assuming this is you and I shake hand, keep your composure, speak with authority. And that's what, when you speak with a little bit slower pace, you show more authority. You take your time, your volume. Remember, I talked about volume earlier. And then you speak. So take a second, shake hand. Hi, I'm Parmita Katkar. I was looking forward to this meeting. By doing this, you were not in a rush. Even the words are communicating the same thing, but still a very different meaning. One saying, Hi, I'm very excited to meet you. The other one says, Hi, I'm Parmita Katkar, and I'm looking forward to this meeting. Right? So you're still saying the same thing without giving away like you're desperate for this meeting. Tell me if you have done this. I'm very excited to meet you. I want to see that. If it has been you, give me one of those, this emoji, whatever that emoji is called. It's not right for face yoga, but you can give me that emoji. Eyes, composure, speak with authority. Radhika, bang on. You are right. Thank you for everyone. There's so many of you who are joining in and commenting and being a part of this. I am so excited. See, I said that again. All right. Use different words. Use something different when you're introducing yourself or when you want to show your excitement towards meeting people. Yeah, this is a good emoji. Okay. So tell me if any of these are applicable to you. If you have, chances are you might have followed at least one or two of these, or chances are you completely ignored all of these. Put all these together and see the impact it can create. Jayashri, you messaged me last year, never heard back. Oof, I am sorry if that happened, but I try. I, not just me, even my team, they try to keep up with everything. I don't know if you texted me or not texted, emailed my team or not, but if you do want to work with me, I think a good place to start would be to write an email to info@blushwithme.com, info@blushwithme.com, or you could even just fill out a form on my website. That's the easiest way to start working, because then someone from my team will call and give you a completely complimentary call where you get all your answers. We try to understand how my services can actually be beneficial to you. So I think that's the best way to actually reach out if you want to have a meaningful communication, right? You reached out for personal development. I think you should just reach out through email. Okay. All right. There's so many messages coming. I don't want to get distracted, but I do want to keep reading them. I have put it on a setting where I would be able to read your messages after this. So keep your messages clean, respectful, and I will definitely read these. This is so meaningful for me, so helpful for me to start creating my own content. So, okay, let's move on. So if you have been the fast one or the person who's too eager, you need to start changing that and tell me if you do this, right? Just open up your body, speak up with a little bit more composure and slowly. Okay, the next one. How many of you introduce yourself as, "Hi, I'm Jessica," versus, "Hi, I'm Jessica Bratt." "Hi, I'm Parmita." "Hi, I am Parmita Katkar." Very different. Introduce yourself using your full name so people can remember it easier. Use your first and last name. Again, a lot of people think, who wants to know my whole name? Why should I even say the whole thing? You may be surprised at what a positive difference it makes to your interaction with others when you use your full, like first and last name in your introduction. Let me know, what do you do? What are you used to doing? Do you use just your first name or both first and last name? It happens sometimes, like if I'm accompanying my husband, or you could be accompanying your husband or your wife or your partner, chances are you might get introduced as, "Hi, she is Parmita, my wife." Don't just extend your hand and say hi. Make sure you add something more to that introduction to become memorable, and you don't just come across shy or timid or standoffish, as I talked earlier. So if, suppose my husband introduced me as, "Hi, that's Parmita, she's my wife," I would say something like, "Hi, I am the woman beside this successful man, Parmita Katkar." Make sure you use your full name. Very, very important, right? Sometimes I add humor to it. I change my introduction to my audience. Very important. How many of you do it? Like, you might think like, "Oh my God, like first she's just telling us that we need to work on this introduction, but now she's also saying that you need to manipulate or modulate, not manipulate, your introduction as per your audience." So important. Now, like I said, you could be talking to a woman, to a group of women. It could be a social group. It could be a group where, or it could be at an office. It could be a presentation. It could be you're on a stage and you're going to be talking about yourself. It could be an interview, job interview, or so many other occasions, right? Like at different places, you need to have something completely different about yourself and be prepared for that. And for that, one of the most important thing is take a diary or make your notes on your phone, whatever you need to do. But write down your strengths. What really gives you authority in one particular field? What really makes you stand out? What is your skill set that people can trust? Um, what kind of introduction really makes you memorable? That's what I want you to start working on. Now, when people meet you, make sure you bring in a sense of that into your introduction, but keeping in mind what audience you are talking to, right? Answer this in the comment below. What makes a bigger impact? "Hi, I'm Parmita," or "Hi, I'm Parmita Katkar." Try to say that out about your own self. Say your whole name, like whatever that is. It's like, "Hi, I am Arunima," or say, "Hi, I'm Arunima Gupta." People will remember you far better than just your first name. Okay, I'm going to read a couple of comments while your brain is working on all the tips and points I just gave you. Right, Eleanor? It makes a huge difference. You will do it. um, Guys, let's avoid the face yoga questions here. I know a lot of questions are coming in about smile lines and wrinkles and beauty. As an image coach, I absolutely love handling both these topics. I think even when it comes to face yoga, it's a big part of women or men even feeling confident about their presence and their personalities and their aging faces. But today we are working more with your introduction. So, so let's stick to some of the questions related to the topic, or even topics that you might want to see on my chats or on my videos in the future. So go ahead, keep making notes. First point, I think, was eye contact, slowing down your pace, full name, giving people the most interesting thing about you or something that is related to the event. You can't just give, like, if you are with some women, you can't give your facts and achievements about your work in your introduction. So be very mindful of the audience you are with. Who are you talking to? Give them the most interesting part of your background that's directly related to the event or the occasion that you are at. Make sense? If you have any questions about it, that's what I'm checking out the chat section for. Right? And but an interview, you might want to talk about your achievement that's related to that job position, that establishes your credibility, right? But you wouldn't do the same at a friendly meetup or when you're meeting someone at a social occasion. And I'll give you an example. Like, someone just said something like, instead of saying, "Hey, my name is X, Y, and Z," they continue with, "I like to do this, this, this. I have done engineering and computer science, XYZ, whatever," right? Use better words to get noticed. Instead of saying something like that, you can say, "Hey, I have a track record in my ability to quickly to solve problems related to bug-free coding," or something like that. So that even if it is an interview, people immediately register. They, of course, understand that you have an expertise in computer science, but add something more about your expertise, even in that field. So instead of just saying, "My hobby is," something like, "You shouldn't be surprised if I say my hobbies are reading IT related magazines. So, yes, I am a tech geek." Fun way of narrating what you really are and something about yourself that people will remember. I don't know why people take the introductions or the, especially in interviews, very seriously. Everywhere, actually, when you're getting, when you feel the pressure to create an impression, people become too serious. And I've seen that even on dates. Some of my clients, their introductions are so, like, they take so much pressure to impress the guy that they actually forget to introduce their authentic self, right? So keep it authentic, keep it very natural and light, but make sure it has the impact that you want the other person to have. Don't be too serious, guys. Life is too short to be that serious. You'll actually make it difficult for yourself to introduce. Introduction is a small part of it. Everything that you do, keep it light and easy. My mantra for success. Yeah. So yeah, you can. So what you notice was basically you, uh, when you're talking about yourself, get the other person excited about getting to know you. Instead of directly talking about your success, share the emotion behind your recent success, or an activity, that's like an activity indulgent every time you achieve something. So this is yet another thing. Like, a lot of times people just talk about the facts instead of talking about the emotion behind that, and that can really help people retain what you talk about yourself. So these are some of the things that I had in mind, I wanted to share with you. And based on most of my one-on-one clients, the kind of issues they come up with, I know a lot of people fumble right at the first go when they're introducing themselves to me. I'm like, if you can't do this to the person you're going to be seeing every day, you have come to me to improve your uh, personal brand, your self image. So clearly, you have put some thought into improving yourself. And if you did not work on the first 10, 15 seconds of meeting someone, which is either how you enter the room, your body language, your introduction, what you say about yourself, if you don't understand yourself, how are you going to elaborate that? So I don't believe in mugging answers, be it my Miss India stage or even now when I meet people, it has to flow. And when do your answers flow? When you know yourself really well. So start understanding yourself well, make that note, write down your strengths and how to highlight that without boasting about yourself, without showing off. How do you wrap those in better words? So there are some upcoming topics. Like I said, some of you have been asking about face yoga. So I will do a face yoga Q&A. Write down in the comment right now if that's what you want to watch. Another thing that I see very often is body language mistakes. That is yet another topic I really want to cover. But do you want to see that? I'm saying this based on the comments I've had in the past and something that can really help women. So if 2023 resolution for you does not mean just getting a fit body, but actually getting a better self image for yourself and creating the impact that you could not in the past up till now, write that below. Take a quick look at yourself, what you were an year ago or even 5 years ago. If you have not changed, that means what you have been doing has not worked. You need to make some changes in order to see faster changes in your future. Just like going to college to learn a particular topic, you can't just say, hey, I'll read a few books or I will listen to a couple of podcasts and I completely change my life. You need to invest in whatever that career is. If you want to be a doctor, you want to be a hairstylist, you want to be a musician, you learn about it. But life is not just about becoming good at one professional skill, it is about learning about yourself and improving every aspect of yourself. And that's where I come in. Personalbrandingstyle.com is the website where you can join the upcoming masterclass that I'll be hosting just 1 week away. It's happening next Saturday morning, 9 a.m. PST. 4 hours. I have to conserve some energy for that and keep up a lot of stamina for 4 hours. But when I start speaking, it's kind of just the energy that flows in the room, and seeing all the people live and chatting with them is just it's so invigorating to me. I'm just looking forward to that experience, and hopefully some of you will be, if maybe all of you might join that masterclass, and I could be of help to you in so many more ways. So please check that out, and don't forget, there's still, for the next 48 hours, you might still see if the promo code still works. That is, if all the seats are not taken by then. It's called Gift Yourself 50. Right? This is your self gift to yourself for the new year. Join the sessions. I will be there live doing the whole class myself. And that is it for today. I'm going to take a look at a couple of chats here, but this time all these chat messages will be saved and hopefully you can see them under the chats as well. And that is it for today. Namaste yet again. Bye-bye. I will see you on my YouTube channel every week like I always do. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, the like button if you like this video and this live stream. If you want me to do more live stream, comment section or chat section is where you let me know more about it. And that's it for today, guys. I'm going to read some of the messages. You're welcome to hang out, keep sending messages till then. But otherwise,